Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Now it's 8 o'clock. Jerry is a little bit late tonight. The dusk is deepening. Soon the nightly battle of London will be on. This has been a quiet day for us, but it won't be a quiet night.
There's trouble ahead. Trouble that may or may not be a signal 30. What will we find? A minor mishap? Or will we look upon the stark face of death?
Public service broadcasting live on KEXP. Track's called Signal 30. And before that was London Can Take It. Both tracks available on the new album, Inform, Educate, Entertain. I believe that's exactly what you guys do.
Yeah, maybe. Definitely, we definitely try on the entertain front. And if we happen to impart a little knowledge along the way, I think that's a bonus. Yeah.
Well, it's great to have a full-length album. I had the War Room EP for quite some time, played it over a year ago, and was waiting for more music. Sometimes just 4 songs just isn't enough, but it did get me through. And every time I would play a track, I'd have listeners write in and go, "Who was that?"
Who was that? Never play it again.
Yeah. No, I'd always get requests for it because they knew I was one of the few people who had it.
All right. Good. Wow, that's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And I've been waiting for a U.S. tour for just as long. Do you scale back your visuals for a U.S. tour, or I believe it would be more elaborate since you're back home?
Yeah, I mean, by the end of last year, it had become pretty elaborate. But I mean, about this time last year back home, we were touring the show basically. Which is kind of us two bashing our way through the songs, and a combination of projectors and screens or sort of in-house stuff, I guess. But yeah, back home we've kind of over the course of the year we kept adding to it. Now it's grown into this enormous beast with 2 sort of 12-foot TV screens and a whole. We've basically got about 16 screens on stage, and we can do like live filming of us. We can put us on the screens and. Yeah, it's got to be ridiculous.
How many people do you have helping you back home?
It's still a pretty small team, actually. We've got the visual artist and set designer, Mr. B, who couldn't be with us this time, sadly, due to budget constraints. But yeah, we're hoping to kind of, we're going to see how this tour goes, I suppose, and then hopefully bring maybe a slightly bigger show out later, either this year or maybe early next year. We'll see.
Can you explain to our listeners where you get your samples from?
Well, it started off actually using a lot from the Prelinger archives, which is based in San Francisco. And yeah, Signal 30, which you just heard there, is solely from Prelinger archive material. And then we kind of, that song was written quite a while ago. That's like 2010, I think we're talking. And from there we gradually built up a working relationship with the BFI, which is the British Film Institute, and they were extremely helpful when we put together the War Room. Actually, most of that was their material, and they continue to be helpful sort of into the future. And
you can just use it for free?
No, we don't use it for free.
Okay.
But they definitely give us a kind of mates rates discount.
Okay.
It's not.
I was wondering about that.
It's not like a commercial. I think they recognise, especially when we started out. I mean, we're modestly successful back home now in that we play a reasonable sized sort of tour in November, but we're certainly not kind of flying around in Learjets or anything. So
I know when the Go Team put out their album on Memphis Industries, everything was okay and all cleared, but then when they wanted to put it out in the States, they had to change some tracks.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're all right. We'd like to dot the I's and cross the T's and dot the lowercase J's as well. People always forget those. Sorry, Wriggles. I've upset Wriggles in the corner.
You put this album out yourselves?
Yeah, we're self-releasing as test card recordings. We kind of, we try and wherever we can, we try and be as above board as possible, because it's kind of short-sighted if you just think whack it out there without the right permissions, because it will come back to get you. I think.
It will.
Yeah.
I was watching the Night Train documentary last night.
And good one.
Yeah, it was like right before bed. It was like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Just wondering, how long of a process is it to write a song after? I mean, you have to do all that research if you're watching, especially like an 80-minute documentary, and then get your inspiration. How long does it take?
It takes a while, but the funny thing is, it's I've never really kind of sat down and had sort of 2 or 3 weeks sitting at home writing, from sort of start to finish. There's always been either touring or before that, sort of real life job and stuff like that getting in the way. So it's tough. I mean, we've been working on the thing that we're going to release hopefully later in the year or early next year. already been sort of researching it for about a year, trying to find good material and read about it and kind of I guess sketch it out, plan it out. But only recently started demoing it, and I expect it will take at least 6 or 7 months to get what we hope will be about 8 tracks ready. So I don't kind of plough through all the archive at once. I kind of skim through it, and you quickly get an idea if it's going to be any use to you or not. If the music's too loud on it, for example, it's a bit of a nightmare, so you kind of skip those ones. But
do you have some footage at home that you kind of put off to the side that, oh, this would be great, but I don't know when to use it, or there will come a time? We still got a few in reserve. The next thing we're doing, I've kind of had the idea at least 2 or 3 years ago, so it's kind of a slow burn process, I guess. And then when you get towards the end, you start really going for it a bit more, I suppose. And is it just the two of you playing live every show, or have you added any members?
Well, we've got the visual artist on stage with us back in the UK, but we've also had a sort of mini horn section occasionally, and when we're playing with sort of bands who are friends or stuff like that, we've kind of asked them if they'll come on for the last song and play a few notes. It's very simple stuff, so we don't normally have to learn anything.
So you're based out of London. Where did you grow up?
Yeah, I grew up in London, but Regal's over there.
I grew up in Leeds.
Leeds,
yeah.
nice.
Grew up in Leeds, very far from the microphone.
Sorry.
For a second, I didn't think you had a microphone. Now I know. Now you get to answer questions.
Yeah.
What's your favorite venue to play in London? One that accommodates your visuals?
Well, in terms of the dream venue, like the one I'd pretty much just put my feet up and smoke a pipe for the rest of my life if we did it. Brixton Academy would be amazing. Yeah. I think that'd be that'd just be a dream. But we were lucky enough to play the Forum in Kentish Town in November, and that was I've seen some great bands there, and that was it was ridiculous. I've seen Wilco there, My Morning Jacket, and all sorts of really good bands. And then to be on that stage playing is a bit of a where you just kind of pinch yourself a bit, I suppose. I
saw you played Coco. That seems like a good venue for you to play. Yeah,
it's a nice size actually, and the sound system there, not to get too sort of geeky, but the sound system there is new and very beefy. We rely quite a lot on sort of having a good PA, I suppose, because we don't use amps or anything like that, so everything goes through front of house. So yeah, it's got a great system.
It can get pretty loud in there. I've been up in the balcony during Camden Crawl, and
you went to Camden Crawl. Wow.
Yes, I crawled back
how was that?
to the hostel. Well, I went there before Great Escape Festival, but
yeah, Great Escape's a bit more civilized, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, yeah. Camden for musicians is not it's not a great recipe really. It's a bit of a kind of logistical nightmare, especially that event. It's they kind of cram everyone in.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
It's good if you're watching bands because you'll get to see loads of them.
You don't have to go very far.
Yeah. But for bands, it's a bit of a hassle.
And then it looks like you're playing South by Southwest at the end of this tour.
Yes, we are.
You have how many shows do you have?
I don't know. Do you know?
I think
Too
it's
many?
about 5 at the moment.
I think it's more than that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. 6?
Possibly.
You have a lot. They're all in one day. Let's get one end to the next.
Yeah.
I think it looks like we're going to be pretty busy, and if it's anything like CMJ, where we turned up with only 1 show there and ended up with 3, so I'm guessing they're probably going to mushroom out of it, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's a lot crazier than CMJ. So.
Yeah,
but you'll have fun.
Worried about that.
Have some barbecue.
It'll be a lot warmer than CMJ, that's for sure.
All right. Well, you have a couple more songs for me.
Yeah, we're going to play Spitfire, which was off the War Room EP and also made it onto the album, and then we're going to finish with Everest, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
The birds fly a lot better than we do. See how they wheel and bank and glide? Perfect. And all in one. Wings, body, tail, all in one. Someday, I'm going to build a plane that is just like a bird.
Public service broadcasting live in the KXP studios. The track was called Spitfire. I go around the house going, it's a Spitfire bird. I can't do the accent, though.
Do you live alone?
No.
It's probably a very personal question to ask, sorry.
I should, though.
Really?
Once there was a mountain called Peak 15. Nothing was known about it. But in 1852, the surveyors found it was the highest in the world, and they named it Everest.
Public Service Broadcasting, live on KEXP. Thank you so much for taking time to play for us today.
Oh, thanks for asking.
And
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, good luck on the rest of your tour. I'm sure I'll see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
This is KEXP Seattle.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?